Yes. Yes. So good afternoon, everyone. As Taylor introduced, I'm the UP Product and Technical Community Manager. Today, we're going to talk about about a new and exciting product that we're launching as part of UP in the first quarter. Before that, I will give you a brief introduction since this is the first Spotlight roadmap that we have. I will be giving you a brief introduction about the various products that we have in our roadmap, and then lead on to the new product that we're launching. Like Taylor mentioned, we're recording this video, and after we will have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes reserved for Q&A after the presentation. And welcome to those who just joined. So let's get started. So the UP product journey as part of AAEON began back in 2015. The first board that we introduced was the UP board, and it was a very tiny, compact, low power consumption, credit card size UP board with quad-core Atom processors, 5 DC input, multiple USB ports, Ethernet ports, display ports, and optional Windows 10 could be offered as part of the system that we offered with the UP board. A few years later, we moved on to more different product in a different form factor. We call it UP Squared, and that's where the UP Squared series journey began. Compared to the UP, it was a bigger size board. It was 10 cross 10 centimeters, and compared to UP board, it came with more powerful processors, better FPGAs, more memory, more storage, additional display ports, storage ports, Ethernet options. We also added additional expansion slots for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and various network options. So this product was when we started our community as well, and that is where we got various feedbacks from all our developers, and we took that into consideration while creating more solutions and development kits using our UP Squared board. So like I said, because of the versatility of UP Squared, we were able to create various development systems with it, which was based on custom projects and especially serving the development community that we had. So there was UP Squared RoboMaker Pro Kit, which would offer an easy approach to create a machine vision application with autonomous mobile robots within a single day. There was also the developer kit, which was loaded with Intel technology and Amazon Web Services. So this could be used by developers to create a more complete, integrated, scalable robotic options and solutions. Additionally, we also have had the UP Squared AI Vision developer kit. This was integrated with the latest vision processor with Intel Movidius MediaTek inside. And it was ready with additional Wi-Fi, LTE options, and we configured it using OpenVINO Toolkit, so it can serve as a easy platform for our customers. Additionally, we took various custom projects in various target markets, in defense line, in retail, in industrial automation. UP Squared served as an important factor in all of those projects. Hence, going forward, we try to create multiple solution components using our UP Squared AI Vision developer kit. So this was targeted to bring AI in different vertical markets. So if you require, for example, additional connectivity, we have products equipped with Wi-Fi, LTE, and LoRa. If you need additional AI processing power, we have AI Edge system with Intel VPU. And say if you need outdoor automation system, we have the IP68. And all of these solutions that we came up with were fully CE and SEC certified, so that you don't have to worry about your certifications anymore when you're doing your projects. I gave you a brief history about how UP Squared came to be. If we look at the broader scale of our roadmap, we provide products with different form factors and different CPU from Intel Atom to Core I generations based on different processing needs, of course. Longevity is something that we also consider. We provide clear longevity and support policy aligned with Intel for all our products. So customers don't need to worry about their hardware platform disappearing in the middle of the development. Last but not the least, we also consider various expansion interfaces, of course, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and recently 5G. So if you look here, there are a few processes based on the Cherry Trail, which we started our up journey with. We have the latest UP2 Pro, which I'm going to dive into. So this is our new product. I'll be diving into this. This is launching in the first quarter of this year. Moving on further, in the next quarter, we also have our UP2 Pro 6000, which is based on the Intel LCAR Lake, providing longevity up to 2035. This I will be covering in the future webinars, of course, as and when we have this launch date nearing. Additionally, we also provide boards and systems with Core I processors for high performance processing needs the customer might have. So last quarter of the last year, we came up with the Extreme Light based option, which was based on our UP Extreme board, equipped with 5G capabilities. In the second quarter of this year, we are launching the UP Extreme i11. So again, you'll be going through various sessions and webinars. If you would be attending, you'll be keeping up to date with all these new products that we have in our plan. So as you see from our roadmap, you can see we move towards more IoT-driven products where we offer expansion options. We provide IoT support. So looking at the journey, we basically, I'm going to tell you why we did this. This was majorly the reason why IoT-centric driven requirements came to be. Customers wanted their activities to be real-time, their operations to be real-time. Computer vision is improving. Security was a must. In managing a bulk of workloads was a must requirement from customers as well. And of course, the use conditions when you talk about industrial automations and robotics. So all these led to more IoT dedicated solutions from Intel, with whom we partner for our products. And moving on, you must have heard about Industry 4.0 lately. So just to give you an idea, Industry 4.0 is something that was based on IoT and AI with the introduction of 5G. So 5G is one of the major key players or the major element, we can say, in the interconnection at the edge. And these new players, if you see the 5G, which basically enables the transmission of multiple data streams, designed primarily for handling data with huge numbers of sensors and IOs, which are working using our boards or systems. IoT, on the other hand, is basically the hand, I would like to say, the way the sensors are connected to your network is managed by the Internet of Things. Next, we have the brain of the whole of Industry 4.0, which is the AI. So AI is essential in this mix in order to create the logic management and the maintenance of data streams for innovative projects and use cases in the industry. This is the only way that the interconnection of millions of sensors, data collected in a very short latency rate using 5G can work together and give something useful to the end customers. The 5G security is an important factor here, and as you know, the 5G security comes inbuilt, and it provides encryption processes, which improves anti-tracking and spoofing features within your systems. So with the advent of 5G and Industry 4.0, we give you the UP2 Pro. Just to give you a high-level idea, the UP2 Pro is our latest addition to our UP2 series. utilizing the same core design in hardware and software, but enriching it further with more industrial features. We have the latest Celeron N3350 and Pentium N4200, along with Atom the E3950 processors, formerly which were known as Apollo Lake, to bring speed, intelligence, and flexibility in the industrial IoT era. We have given it the 5G capability and multiple expansion options to give the customers the way to deliver the ultimate AI solution for industrial automation. We'll be diving in details in each of the target markets, or the features and the specifications we have for UP2 Pro. Looking at the strengths of UP2 Pro, as you must have known, it is more industrial. It's a more industrial version of our UP2 series. So with the 12 to 24 volt power input, with the security using DSN in the multiple COM ports that we provide, the introduction of TPM 2.0 on board. This all adds to making UP2 Pro more industrial. Additionally, like I mentioned, it comes with the powerful Atom processors, which are powerful enough to manage various workloads, which comes with the 5G streaming of data. So of course it is fast. We have also added the Ethernet controller I210, which comes with DSN, which allows you for time-sensitive networking among your connections. Additionally, for AI proofing, we can also layer it with multiple Movidus media add-ons, which will provide additional video acceleration capabilities on the board. There's also a 40-pin expansion for adding additional IOs and sensors, just like how we have in the Raspberry Pi boards, traditional ones. Looking at the target market, as you see, it's more towards industrial automation because of the features that we put within the board. Additionally, it can also serve in robotics, given the multiple IO interfaces that we provide with it, the 40-pin GP bus. Additionally, we also provide frameworks and libraries that go along with it to provide continuous support for our customers. Retail is another market that we try to target. The video analytics enabled with 5G and audio jack line outputs can all come together to serve various cases in retail sector. Additionally, there are vision options that you can enable using OpenVINO and support and various visual accelerators that we have. Recently, we had the webinar for smart agriculture, where we showcased various use cases regarding the 5G products that we're launching. This is where I think agriculture could also serve as a major target market for our product, UP2 Pro. Let's dive into the strengths in detail. So, like I said, it is more industrial since it comes with the standard 12 to 24 volt input DC power connection. Additionally, there's also time sensitive networking within the COM ports. So the data is always real time. The connection is maintained using 5G networks, which requires that, and we provide this using UP2 Pro. There are additional industrial IOs that we have added on it, and of course the mention of the audio jack line input-output port, which can serve as an important industrial IO. So of course, like I said, it's based on the Intel Atom processor. It is power efficient Intel platform, which is known as Apollo Lake formerly. It is powerful enough to enable workload consolidation in applications like computer numerical control machines, real-time controls, human-machine interfaces, tool applications, medical sectors as well. So all these different sectors could basically, the workload that comes with it basically could these processors are capable enough to manage that workload. We have also enabled 5G on it, so you have 5G support for ultra-reliable, low-latency communications with massive, machine-to-machine communications. Additionally, like I said, there are multiple display ports, which could serve as a powerful tool for managing your workloads and using various output devices along with it. Additionally, like I said, you can add optional VPU on your UpSquare Pro using our AI Core XM2280 and KB2280. Now, KB2280 is the future third generation VPU, which is supports Intel automation and with the AI and 5G. So that would basically offer about 7 times performance than the traditional Intel Mobius Meteor X chip, and also making it more efficient in that process. So this could help us target all these sectors where AI training and visual acceleration is required. We have also given multiple expansion options. So there's a 40-pin hat, like I mentioned, the standard 40-pin hat, which comes with the Raspberry Pi boards as well. We have the M.2 3052 port for the latest 5G and a SIM slot along with it for your SIM cards. There is M.2 2230 ports for your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections. So these are all optional. You can add it on top of boards, and it's a simple setup process. We help you through every step of installation of these processes. You also have our wiki and various sources for helping you with all these steps in detail. Additionally, we also have the open optional VPU by adding the AI Core XM, like I mentioned, and of course the future third generation chip that is due to launch this year. So UpSquare Pro is completely market ready now. We have the pre-order going on our UpShop. I have attached a link here. So if you want to pre-order, look at in details about different options that you have for UpSquare Pro, you can just go on this link. Additionally, we've also made sure that UpSquare Pro is compatible with various software stacks. I'll be discussing in that in the next few slides. This slide will give you more information about the hardware specifications in detail for UpSquare Pro. I've also attached a link of the data sheet here, so you can just download it and keep it ready at your disposal. There's also, as you see, there are multiple options for system memory and storage capacity. So it comes with options of 2, 4, and 8 GB for the memory, and the 32 and 64 GB for the storage capacity. Going forward, comparing to UpSquare series, like I said, UpSquare Pro is our latest addition to our UpSquare series. And I also showed you why our UpSquare series is the most compatible one, because we've offered various development kits and various solution kits and systems for different vertical target markets. So making it, throughout the journey more and more compatible with various software platforms, various frameworks and services. Comparing with UpSquare, and if you see the power consumption is not that high as well, given the usage, the basic usage. This also, it is ready for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 5G. It comes with additional COM ports, and like I said, it is 3052 for 5G capabilities. We have also added a TSN support with our Ethernet networks, and there's 2 XGB LAN on it, and as well as the Infineon TPM 2.0. To UpSquare makes it more industrial. UpSquare was had lesser I/O options, lesser industrial automation options. Given the latest introduction of UpSquare Pro, I hope we can add more compatibility to our UpSquare series. Next, we can look at the board level IOs in detail on the Upside Pro board. So all these information are also available on the shop as well as our up website where we have given a data sheet as well as board diagrams along with it. Further, we have the system block diagram that if you want to know what buses and lanes are actually on the board and how it is interconnected, you can also get this detail. So I'll be sharing these slides after the presentation. You can get all these details right from here. So all those technical requirements or details if you need to look into about each specification, you can get it from here. Further, like I said, we also provide foundation kits and systems. So Upsquare Pro, of course, would in the future we would also be launching soon the system kit, and these are the preliminary images for that. Of course, the chassis is here would be updated. These are still in the preliminary stage, and we'll keep you updated on our up shop and up website with more details of it. So for, like I said, for expandability and AI power, we consider various options for all our products. So this gives you a general idea of the various options that we have using which we can enable various different AI visual accelerators. So we have given the M.2 2280 port on our Upsquare Pro, which we can enable 2x period X here. Or we, like I said, in the second quarter of this year, we'll be coming up with the next future third generation VPU, which we'll be supporting as well. All this with OpenVINO would serve the perfect platform for making your projects easier as well as more compatible with the Intel latest products that we have. So as you see, the OpenVINO EP has a lot of training frameworks which it is compatible with. You can it is open. You can connect it with multiple platforms. You can deploy it on multiple platforms. So all this is possible with Upsquare Pro. I've attached a link here to give you more details about OpenVINO and its possibilities on Upsquare Pro. We also offer detailed software stack for our Upsquare products. So like I said, there's the in-foundation kit package that will be coming up after the board launch. So in the kit package, we have a certain, we just not provide the board with BIOS or just the basic drivers. We go to the extra mile. We also enable the Linux kernel, on top of which we have the Ubuntu libraries. We have the OpenVINO stacked on top as software for doing your AI inferencing needs. Foundation kit here means that is selected by Intel, and we work with Intel to enable all these software stacks and related toolkits such as OpenVINO, Media SDK, etc. And it is of course based on Linux kernel and Ubuntu 20.04. Similarly, in the community, we also offer support for not just Ubuntu, but also UP2 and Windows. So if there's a special need where Windows SDK needs to be enabled on your board and your system, we can also offer that. So we provide the packages and the framework files along with the community support for all our products. Going further, there are various frameworks and libraries that we also provide with our Upsquare stack. So what we do, other than operating system, kernel, and toolkits, we also offer many software frameworks for like IoT device management. We offer choices such as Balena, Mender. For AI frameworks, like I mentioned, we offer OpenVINO. For robotics, we have the ROS on Upsquare Pro. We also have a future plan to enable ROS 2. We'll keep you updated over that. Additionally, we have the Python libraries such as RPI, GPIO, MRA, and UPM. So these Python libraries we give support on our wiki and our community. Up Squared Pro, like I said, we are Up as a brand. We are selected by Intel, and we work as an alliance, IoT solution alliance partner with Intel, and all our software stack, especially the Foundation kit package, we work with Intel, like I mentioned, and additionally, we also work for various solution components or development kits we make in the future. We'll keep you updated for Up Squared Pro development kits and solutions. So the online shop, like I said, you can order Up Squared Pro already. There are boards and modules which are available. We can also order optional accessories such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi kits along with it. These are, of course, these as well CE and FCC certified. So there's no worry for requiring certification additional for your projects. We also offer an online community which offers support and along with the download files that you need for frameworks, for say diagrams and your test results reports. Sorry. So all these files, we make it available for every product that we have, along with providing continuous wiki support where we provide simple steps for our users. We have our own community there, so I would also encourage all the listeners here to join our community and join our wiki and provide continuous engagement with all our other developers. You can also see find other people who are working on different projects, communicate with them and see if they can help you. And of course, you'll get help from our admins on the community as well continuously. With that, I think we've reached the end of my presentation. So if you guys have any questions, I think we can go through it now. Taylor?
Hi, Pratik. Okay, so yeah, we have a question from Jeroen. He said most boards require 5-volt input voltage, although customers are expecting / connecting 12-volt. Yeah, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so we have seen that earlier, like I mentioned, we had more of our 5-volt boards, which were low power. But as and when the need of processing increases, you would need more power for that. And I think 12-volt is the industry standard for all the industrial automations, and we are going towards the same way. We are focusing on boards that are of the industry standard for industrial automation, warehouse, and all those purposes. Yeah. Does that answer?
Okay. I think so. Jeroen said, have all boards protection against connecting to too high input voltage?
I'm sorry, could you, what do you mean by that?
Do they have protection in case there is input voltage that's too high?
So we do provide accessories along with all our products. So we recommend using those accessories, of course, and we have tested those accessories. We have verified all test reports, like I mentioned. You can find them with respect to those accessories. So I think pairing them together would be the best option to use it safely, and that is what we recommend.
Okay. And we have another question. It says, what 5G modem are you using in the product? Is this chip down or M2, or can this be decided by the customer when designing?
So we are looking at there are a few lists of modems, 5G modems that we are testing out. They're all M.2, of course. But we haven't finalized any of the modems. As soon as we do all those details, we'll of course make it available on our shop, and you can find more details as to how you can set it up with your board, how you can install it, and all that. But yeah, that is planned and not yet in shop.
Another question about 5G. Is 5G support already on board of the Up Squared Pro or available via extra module? I think you just answered that question.
Yeah, it's additional module, which is optional, just like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and other LTE connectivities.
Okay. that is all of our questions so far. If you have any other questions regarding the UP products, UP2 Pro, or anything else, please send them in now. But if not, then you can, of course, email us after the presentation, and we will try to answer all of your questions. Okay, it doesn't seem like we're getting any more. So Marlo, go ahead and share your presentation.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and see your screen.
Okay, good. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining our Spotlight webinar today. So from my part, I will talk two product division. One is related to network appliance and one is mobile computing, which is focused on our rugged tablet PC. So what I will try to do is talk a bit one of the market and then talk more into the product we are proposing or what we are promoting in on that market. So the sequence will be market, talk a bit, and then the product, and then highlights. So that's more as a sequence on that. Okay. So let's start with network appliance related market. So let's see what the market is talking about. SD-WAN. Well, SD-WAN market actually exceed 1 billion already in 2019 and expected to grow to 30 billion market by 2026. The market actually is growing because the need of organization to basically simplify their network management. All organizations who are running on the traditional WAN architecture are now facing bandwidth and reliability related issues while providing connection to their data center and their cloud-based application. And that's where the SD-WAN comes in because it enables a quick deployment of new network compared to traditional ways of deployment, network deployment using routers and gateways. Also, in recent event, particularly last year, the COVID-19 outbreak, it also enabled companies to allow employee work from home. That's the trend that started already last year, and it's helping to boost the SD-WAN market. And I think this is basically companies are trying to leverage the technologies that's being effective in managing the growing network usage and traffic flow. Okay. So which product we are trying to push? Of course, we have several product line of network appliances. Depends on the performance requirement and also depends on the network connectivities. But particularly in this new product we just launched, the FWS2360, it's a multi-configurable device, but most probably it's the first desktop device that we have 10G support natively. So basically we are not using a network interface module, but basically we use it directly from the silicon, connect it directly from the silicon. Okay. So if we look on the basic specification of the device is powered by Intel Atom C3000 series. But with this device, we limit it from 4 cores up to 16 cores. If you look on C3000 series, they have dual core, but we try to skip the dual core, particularly because of the 10G supports, which I will explain it later. And this device could be with fanless solution, but limited only also to 4-core CPU. Once you start using an 8 cores, 12 cores, 16 cores, you need a system fan, or probably either 1 or either 2, depend on the installation base. in some installation base, some customer or some, how would I say, SI provider need, even in 4-core, need a slow moving fan on the device, because if they do rack mount installation, and this is squeezed by 2 devices from the bottom and from the top, they need to make sure there's an air circulation inside, even it's just a low airflow, because they just want to make it sure that the air circulation inside the unit is very even minimal, but keep the required temperature, because that's why you can see on this device we have air vents in both sides, because once you do rack installation and this is squeezed by 2 devices, there's a heat generated from the top system and there's a heat generated from the bottom system. So your only air intake and out is from side and right, left and right, and also at the back. Okay. In terms of the storage, by default, it will have 16 gig eMMC that could be scaled up to 128 gig. You have an option to use a SATA DOM, because we have 2 SATA ports inside in the system. And of course, traditionally, you can also use the traditional 2.5 SSD hard drive. On the memory capacity, the device is equipped with 2 SATA DOMs, so you can scale your memory capacity up to 64 gig. Okay. So now we go deeper more on this device. And this in particular, in this device, we started already calling a mini PCI slot and M.2 slot. But as you know, M.2 right now, there are too many form factor, there are too many different keys, but we try to focus more on wireless connectivity. So we focus on supporting Wi-Fi module, which is based on E-key 2230, and also cellular connectivity, which either LTE or 5G module. So because in mini PCI so far we don't have we don't have 5G support on that. But on a mini PCI, there's still a lot of customers still can have Wi-Fi. I don't know if Wi-Fi 6 vendor will have mini PCI, but what I learned as of now, they are also will be focusing on M.2. So this device actually is designed kind of for future proof. That's why we co-laid a mini PCI in M.2 to support wireless modules. And also it has a possibility to use dual SIM. Currently, right now, the SIM is not accessible outside, but the design of the SIM slot is already at the edge of the PCB, which is just on the front panel. So it's easy to customize the housing to make the SIM slot accessible outside. Okay, so going back to what I already highlight as possibly the first desktop we have with 10G connectivity. This is through the FSP Plus. So if the device is configured with 4-core CPU, it can only support 2 10G fiber ports. But if you need to have 4 10G fiber port in your application, you have to use 8 cores, 12 cores, or 16 cores. Depends on the performance you basically need. Also, the network ports in the middle, which is particularly port 5 and port 6, we already co-lay these ports that you can support fiber, 1 gig fiber as well. Because right now, in every market, like residential, commercial, or industrial, there's an increasing demands on PON, which is passive optical network. And that's the reason why we are, even on a desktop platform, we are trying to offer or having a desktop which is configurable. It's either copper or fiber. Of course, we are trying to leverage also what are the technologies that are provided by the silicon by default. like the Q80 Intel Quick Assist technology. I mean, these are very useful in a networking application such as SD-WAN. Encryption, of course, security is one of the key major topics, cybersecurity in every, how would I say, market segments we are facing right now, from industrial to financial and even to commercial. I mean, just lately, I just read a news that they tried to hack one of the water treatments and they just flooded the whole city, which is unbelievable, okay? And also we are going to support SR-IOV, but this is only supported in a fiber because in our design on the copper ports, we are not using i350M chipsets, but we are using i211 and i210. And some customer would like to have i210 because it's not about the TSN, but it's the number of queues which are available in i210 rather than in i211, okay? And of course, the DPDK, which is also been supported by DPDK communities. Again, for this device, it's already been verified with 5G module. We have tested one from Thales, which I believe that's coming from the old Gibalco team. Okay, rack mounting is another questions from different customers, and we try to address that in different way. First and foremost, for the simple rack mounting, that's what we provide as an option by default. There are a specialized rack mount which are requested from our customer, which even, because in network appliance, your front side is particularly where are your network ports. The LED is probably on the rear side. But in some installations, some customers, their whole cable patching is in the back, not at the front. So they want the network appliance in a way like they are installed like a server. So in that way, they need a particular rack mount that we pull in also some of the patches on the front. And this is kind of like, it's expensive solution, but customers willing to pay for it. In some rack mounting options, some customer also will be basically try to maximize the space as much as possible. And that's where they would like to have two devices rack mount in a 1U rack itself. And that's where we basically develop a special rack mounting also that we can rack two devices in 1U rack. With the exception of some of our desktop network appliance product, once the width is above or longer than half of the 1U rack, we cannot find a solution for that. For the two, it has to be one device, one rack mount kit. Okay. So these are the highlights for FWS 2365. The device itself is configurable. I mean, in production, you cannot buy the device and it's not using those network interface that you can replace the network interface by buying another network interface. What I mean is in production, because the device has been already designed in a way that we can, that RG45 in fiber copper, fiber 1 gig are cooled, and of course we have the 10G port. As I already mentioned earlier, the device can also support a high core count support. So basically up to 16 core, that's already been validated. One key aspect requirements in network appliance is the network interface performance itself. And that's why we are using all, Intel network controllers. It's the performance, the readiness of the driver, and that's a very, very important to network appliance application. Multi-wireless connectivity support, as I already mentioned, that we call a mini PCI in M.2. So it's for some customer that want to have the very, very cost-effective solution, then we can still use mini PCI because we have still in Wi-Fi module and LTE module, mini PCI modules are still cheaper than M.2. Okay. For those applications requiring a DSL solution, that's also possible using a through FSP Plus or FSP port. We find a partner for those transceivers. So if you have a project with that, let us know, because currently right now all those transceiver are basically configured as VDSL, but they can update the firmware to work as ADSL or HSDSL. Okay. Somehow earlier I did mention the rising demand of 10G PON, and we did already observe that in residential communication and commercial and industrial market. So 2365 really suit on those kind of applications. Okay, lastly, on the network appliance product line, we do have several ranges of white box UPC for SD-WAN. So as I mentioned earlier, we have a compact, limited numbers of network ports, and also in terms of performance. So from a low performance, less to high performance device with configurable network ports, we do have range of solution on that. Before jumping to another topic, because the two topics I have right now are practically on the opposite side of two markets. Is there any questions on VP's FWS 2365 or SD-WAN? Okay, let's have a okay. There's a question from Ronnie. Where is BK324? Okay. I don't know what you mean on this, but I think you're asking where is the slot, right? But actually it's on board. Unless I did misunderstand your questions on this one. I mentioned earlier that we have, by default, we have 3 mini PCI slot on 2365, but we collate them also to have M.2. Oh, okay, what does, okay, BK352 basically are the 5G modules. Okay. Oh, okay, there's a question from Paul over here. What is the AAEON software have been tested for these units? Actually, because in AAEON, we basically a white box provider. So if we talk about SD-WAN software, we work with our customers or partner. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but one of our customers here in Europe is Infovista. Okay. Okay, then let's move to another topic. This topic is more related also to our rugged tablet PC. So before that, let's talk about one market, which is very important. It's related to facility management. Okay, so in facility management, as you can see this one, globally, the market was already 1.24 trillion in 2019 and projected to reach about 2 trillion by 2027. The demand of facility management solution services has been risen in the past few years And this was due to increasing investment from different industries like manufacturing, transportation, energy, construction, warehousing, ports, uh, chemical. So you name it already, that there was a huge investment in the past few years in this different kind of market. And obviously you need those services to maintain and also to make it sure those equipments, those kind of process were being already also been monitored and traced and basically tracked all the time. But again, go back to last year, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, this industry was basically impacted, which is true because if you look on it, everybody is already kind of like downsizing, or some even, how they say, they cannot really have a full production, I mean, in full capacity, okay? But in contrary, because of the impact from COVID-19, the increased awareness of cleanliness, maintenance, security, and other stuff that never been basically considered in the past is driving this market to come back in the in the future. Of course, once I hope everything goes back to the new normal by the end of the year. Of course, there's still a lot of companies has to continue offering services, field services, which are part of facility management. Okay, so it's not that this market is dead. I mean, we are trying to get back to the new norm that people are talking about, but once we pass these issues, everything goes back to normal. But in addition to that, there are several, how would I say, uh, awareness that need to be considered that were not really considered in the past. Like I mentioned, maintenance and cleanliness and so on. Those are really kind of added services after this pandemic that we are facing right now, that will be added on facility management. Okay, so yes, we are trying to promote our RTC devices on this market, particularly the RTC 1200. This is not a very new product that we released in the market, but we went into several upgrades. Like for example, from CPU, we moved from Skylake to Kaby Lake U, and that's what we are promoting as of now. We can still supply the Skylake, but only in the condition if your customer is using Windows 7, because it's not so. Windows 7 is not supported already in Kaby Lake. There's also a memory upgrade. If you in the previous version, we are only limited up to 8 gig, but now on the new version, we are also can go up to 16 gig memory capacity. And I think on the storage, we keep it also like that. But in addition to the display, because originally the old version, we have 300 nits and 1000 nits. But in the new version, we already verified and tested 850 nits as well. So as the shift from the old version to the new version, most likely that the 1000 nits will become a project base, and the standard offering will be 300 and 850 nits. Okay. The ruggedness of the device is also based on Military Standard 18G. So the drop is about 122 centimeter, and also all surface and edge and corner. Of course, these devices, as it meant for outdoor services and for outdoor usage, ruggedized environment, or harsh environment, it support comply with IP65. Aside from that, to continuous the operation of the device, it support hot swappable batteries. So if you look on it, this device is really meant for service purposes functions. Okay, so aside from that, with high performance, if the customer I mean, if those field services, field engineers need to more performance, basically this device already could be used outdoor. Just bring it in the office, and you can also use as your own working terminals. Okay. This gave you some additions of all the connectivities. The device is really, really rich in connectivities. So even the comfort itself, I mean, it's not very common to have a tablet PC with configurable comfort. Serial port, I said, not. Okay, so serial port is configurable from 232 RS232, 422, and 485. So we have those barcode readers, and you have all the required connectivity that you need. Not only that, but we have almost a wide range or needed external accessories depends on customer needs or project needs. So we have battery pack, we have the charger itself. So if you have some spare batteries, because I think you might need that, because if you want to do continuous operation and to limit the number of hours of downtime, you still have to have battery packs on that. Okay. So this is the last part of my presentation, which is why rugged tablet PC and facility management. I think if you look on the features of the device, IP65, high brightness, drop shock, it's really meant for outdoor services, for visual, I mean for inspections, for maintaining, for how are they collecting data from outside environment. Okay, and why would you, the benefit of using rugged tablet is it's easy to clean. Actually, it's really meant developed for outdoor use, and the long working hours, and it's much kind of friendly to use. And you cannot really, if you go for harsh and rugged environment nowadays, there's a tendency that you might accidentally drop one or two of your equipment, and hopefully not the device you are using to collect data, to maintain equipments, and to basically transmit them and have all the thing record. So hopefully then that's why you need really rugged tablet PCs on those in facility management market. Okay. There's one question here. Okay. How is the working of there's a question from Ronnie here. It's quite interesting. How is the working of in rain? So the customer must be using also like gloves as well. Let's test it again in the new version. Ronnie, if you don't mind, can I contact you directly? I want to understand exactly the issue before, and I can trace back in the new version. Okay. There's a question from Mero, RTC 1200 support Linux. Yes, we are verifying Ubuntu 20.04 in the new version of RTC 1200, but you have to buy your own Linux by yourself. We will not provide it. I think it's due to OS license issues. So we are testing and we are verifying. Everything seems okay right now. We can say it's the device is verified, but we will not provide the OS. So okay. Any questions? Okay, for Ronnie, I will drop you a mail there. Try to understand more about your questions. I mean the issue before in the previous version. Okay. Oh, there's a question from Meryl over here. Okay, RTC 17RK. Actually, it should be a release for mass production. We had some delay on the LCD display, so expected that the start of the mass production is end of March, because they schedule the LCD arrive production basically end of March.
Okay, does anyone else have any more questions? Or else we can start wrapping things up.
Okay,
Okay.
take over, Taylor.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining today. You will receive the slides and the recording in your email. If you don't receive it, then you're probably not signed up to receive the AAEON newsletters. So if that's the case, just email us at marketing@aeon.eu, or marketing@aeon.eu. And you can also follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. Our next webinar is going to be the Introduction to Intel One API, hosted by Dr. Johnny Paul from Intel and Daniela Cleary from AAEON. You can use this QR code here to sign up. Just use the camera app on your phone. And we will see you then on February 24th. So thank you guys so much for joining. And yeah, any further questions, please don't hesitate to email us at marketing@aeon.eu. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.